What is up, everybody? This is TheWardFace, and welcome back to WardFace Wednesdays. I think this is the third episode. It's nice to actually be doing this a week after I put out the last one. I really like being consistent with these videos, and it's been kind of weird, because first I waited like a month to make the second video, but originally I had hoped that these were going to be every other week, but now I kind of want to do them weekly, so I have no idea what's going on with this. The only thing that's in common is, again, it is coming out on a Wednesday. So, in this video, I did briefly talk about it in my previous WardFace Wednesdays, but in this one we will be talking about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and kind of the future of Call of Duty in general. I want to make it a little bit more general than just focusing completely on Infinite Warfare, and although most of it is going to be on Infinite Warfare, I did want to make it a little bit more broad because I just think everybody and their mother has made an Infinite Warfare video so far, so that's why I'm doing it kind of more general future of Call of Duty-ish. Now before we get into that, I just want to quickly update you guys on a few things. Now, a lot of people have been asking exactly what's going to happen after Assassin's Creed ends, so I kind of just want to clear that up. So what I was planning on doing, and Assassin's Creed, like, officially now only has, like, 1 or 2 episodes left. I'm pretty sure after what I put out tomorrow, I think it's going to be, or maybe the next day, that there's only 1 episode remaining. So, Assassin's Creed is definitely, like, 100% coming to an end. I keep talking about how it's coming to an end, but I'm almost certain that now it is actually coming to an end. But pretty much, what I want to do is I want to play a game, like a shorter game-ish thing, not like a full, like, 40-episode thing, along with put out videos with you guys' suggestions. Now, originally I was just going to do the suggestion stuff, but I didn't want to completely ditch a series and do, like, random videos like that, but at the same time, I think I have a lot more time to handle both of them now. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a short kind of episodic series type thing, along with all of you guys' suggestions. I have a bunch of games that you guys have suggested so far. What I'll pretty much do, and what I've kind of done in the past, is either put out like 1 or 2 really long episodes, or like 2 or 3 kind of shorter episodes. It depends what I'm recording on. If I'm recording on console, I can do them a little bit longer, just because the actual file after they're done is a lot smaller, whereas on PC when I'm doing it, the files reach into the hundreds of like gigabytes when I record a single long video, so usually I have to break those ones up, whereas on console I can just do like 1 long video, but we'll have to see where this goes. It's one of those things that we'll kind of just play as it goes along, and other than that, there's not a ton of stuff to update. I am looking towards live streaming a little bit more. I started to try to do some more Fallout 4 stuff today. I downloaded all of the extra maps, but my Fallout has been acting really weird. I might make a video on why it's been acting weird, because it's something I've never seen before, and I can't really explain unless it's in a video, so that might be just kind of like a bonus thing I put out tonight, and it'll be like late at night or something, I don't know. I have to see if I can fix it, because right now my Fallout, I say he's acting weird, it's completely messed up, but I guess I can add a screenshot right now to kind of show you, but I do want to make a video on it because I have a little bit more than what I just showed you. But let's move on to what this video is actually about. Now, I'd like to start off with kind of my initial thoughts of the trailer and kind of the whole release situation, and then kind of branch off from there and talk a little bit more in depth about certain things. So initial thoughts while I was watching the trailer is I am not a fan of the continuing futuristic theme thing they have going on, and I do think that there's different factors going into that, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video, but the whole futuristic thing, I think a lot of people are getting kind of sick of it, and I can include myself in that. The next thing that a lot of people have kind of wondered about or noticed or whatever is the advanced movement situation, and I'm kind of like borderline iffy on this one. I would have preferred like old school boots on the ground kind of stuff, but at the same time, if they are staying futuristic, advanced movement doesn't necessarily bother me that much, because if they're going as far into the future as they plan on, or it looks like in this game, it'd be kind of weird to lose some of the advanced movement stuff that they had in the other one, but at the same time, I'm really worried about it, because Advanced Warfare, I think it was garbage, the whole movement system they had in that game. It was too fast-paced, it was too jerky, it was just bad. I think Black Ops 3 had it a lot more down pat. I think they had a pretty good system, and I'm just worried that Infinite Warfare is going to come along, and Infinity Ward is going to try to develop their own movement system, and it's just going to be bad. And I think if they stick to a Black Ops 3-like system where it's a little bit slower, you don't have like unlimited boosts and stuff, I think that wouldn't be that bad, and it would kind of fit the futuristic theme. Despite how bad I think the futuristic theme is, I think you kind of have to match to it. I know that's probably not the most popular opinion, but I just think that it'd be kind of weird to go back to just like dudes that can't run around or jump or run on walls and stuff. It'd be kind of weird, but I'm just worried that if they do implement it, which I'm pretty sure they are, I haven't looked it up. I know in the trailer, I'm pretty sure they show someone jumping with like some kind of advanced movement type system, but I'm just worried that they're going to screw it up, because if it goes back and it's more like Advanced Warfare than it is Black Ops 3, it's just going to add like a whole nother layer of garbage that this game has already has surrounding it and stuff. Other than that, I think the trailer was kind of just like the typical Call of Duty release trailer. It just showed campaign stuff. It didn't really go that in depth. It showed a couple cool things, or tried to show cool things, despite the fact that literally everybody hated it. And it just, I don't know, I think it was a typical Call of Duty release trailer. It's just funny how everybody's kind of coming together right now to voice their like hatred of all the futuristic stuff, which is kind of good to see. I like that people are actually banding together and showing these huge companies like Call of Duty or Activision or whatever that they're kind of sick of all this futuristic stuff and they want to go back to where the game kind of started. Which they do kind of tease at the end with the Call of Duty 4 stuff. And that's kind of what I think the majority of people are excited for. At least anybody who's played Call of Duty 4 is definitely excited for that. And it does look good. I'll give them that. The few screenshots and stuff I've seen of what they've done to remaster it, it definitely looks very good. So in that sense, Call of Duty 4 does look very good, where my initial thoughts on Infinite Warfare are probably the exact opposite. Now, I'll talk about Call of Duty 4 Remastered, or Modern Warfare Remastered, however they call it, a little bit more later in the video, but I want to quickly talk about the futuristic theme a little bit more, and I want to start off with a quote that I actually found on the Call of Duty website, and their quote for the game is "A vast, never-before-seen environments, blockbuster cinematic moments. Infinite Warfare is a gripping portrayal of war that takes you back to the roots of the franchise." And I think this is probably the most infuriating thing about this whole thing. I mean, I see why people are mad about the futuristic stuff and the movement and all that stuff, all the other stuff that goes along with this game. But what really gets me is how they keep saying, like in everything, if you look this up on Amazon, any kind of like description of the game is, oh, we're going back to the roots, we're going back to the roots. And I would like to see what they mean by going back to the roots, by including Call of Duty 4 Remastered, because if you look at the game, going back to the roots means launching you into space for a space battle, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. They keep like pushing this, we're taking you back to the roots, we're going to show you a realistic portrayal of war and all this stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? What war have you been looking at? When I think of realistic portrayals of war in Call of Duty, I think back to Call of Duty 4 and sneaking through grass and ghillie suits, or playing in World at War where you're like storming Berlin and that stuff. That's realistic portrayals of war. Not shooting yourself into space and like blasting each other with your laser cannons. I mean, like, honestly, are they that like delusional, I guess, to say that they're bringing us back to the roots of the franchise? If anything, this game looks almost the farthest from the roots of the franchise. And I just think it's funny how that's kind of how they're spinning this. Like, I don't have, and I didn't look this stuff up before, like, all the dislikes and outrage about Infinite Warfare came out, but were they saying this before all the outrage sparked? I just kind of, that would be cool to see. Like, a month ago, did the description of the game still say it was going back to the roots of the franchise? I just thought that was kind of a weird thing. I don't know why I'm getting so mad about that, but it's like, why are you even trying to spin it this way? You're taking us as far into the future as you possibly can, and you're trying to say that we have a gripping portrayal of war that takes you back to the roots of the franchise, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, even after all that, and even after all the stuff I said in my last video about Infinity Ward, I still can't completely blame them, and I kind of understand why they had to do the futuristic thing, because if you think about it, they were kind of the third cycle of this super futuristic advanced movement cycle that Call of Duty is going through right now. So Advanced Warfare kind of started it like last year, and then Black Ops continued it, and then of course we have Infinite Warfare coming up. And because they're on this 3-year cycle, obviously they had input from each other, so they're all saying, oh, we're moving to this new futuristic thing. So Infinity Ward was like, okay, so we'll start making that game. So they're already like 2 years in, and now they're getting all this backlash. So there's not much I think they could have really done development-wise to change anything. I mean, they probably could have done research a little bit better, and when they saw Advanced Warfare and stuff getting so much flack, because I really think the whole call for going back in time started with Advanced Warfare, but I think they just had to kind of continue with what they had. And it's kind of too bad, because all of a sudden, all at once, people are all kind of saying how sick and tired they are of all the futuristic stuff. And kind of with another thing I just kind of thought of for now is the whole Battlefield 1 thing. That was terrible timing, because at the same time that everybody's like, yo, this futuristic stuff is growing really stale, we're getting really sick of it, Battlefield 1 swoops in, they're like, hey, World War 1, and it looks really good. And everybody's like, yeah, Battlefield 1, let's actually listen to our fans. So it's kind of funny to see like all of this going down at once. Like, the worst time for Infinity Ward to be like, oh yeah, we're doing super futuristic stuff, and at the same time Battlefield comes out and be like, hey, we're actually giving you guys what you want. So it's kind of funny to see like the bad timing, but at the same time, as I say that, I kind of like understand where Infinity Ward was coming from by making this game. They were kind of just stuck in a bad timing, like wrong place, wrong time, releasing their game. And that brings me to where I think a lot of people are looking forward to the most, Call of Duty 4 Remastered. Now, I'd like to quickly point out the kind of slimy way that Infinity Ward is releasing Call of Duty 4 Remastered. First of all, you can't buy it by itself upon release, so you have to buy Infinite Warfare to get Call of Duty Remastered. But, on top of that, they're making you buy the more expensive version of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare to get Modern Warfare Remastered, pretty much. At first I thought it was going to be just like a pre-order release thing, but I looked it up a lot, and I could be wrong about this, because I really thought I heard a lot of people saying pre-order bonus, but it looks like you have to buy like the Legacy or higher version to actually get in our Modern Warfare Remastered, which is kind of slimy, because I don't know what the prices are around the world, but in the US it's like $59.99 for the regular game, and then it's $79.99 for the one that has Call of Duty 4 Remastered. So $20 extra to get Call of Duty 4 Remastered, which I think is kind of weird. It's slimy, and then on top of that, they're only releasing 10 multiplayer maps with it, so you're not even getting all of Modern Warfare 4, or Call of Duty 4, I'm going to say Modern Warfare 4. You're not even getting the complete Call of Duty 4, you're just getting 10 multiplayer maps from it, plus all the campaign and stuff, which I know counts for something, but multiplayer-wise, you don't even get the full game. That kind of disappoints me, because I think if you're getting the remastered version, you should at least get the base game. I could understand if you didn't include like the DLC maps and stuff, and for the most part, I don't really care about the DLC maps. There was a couple good ones, but like, who really wants to play on Creek? I still think Creek is one of the worst Call of Duty maps of all time. So we didn't need Creek, but at the same time, it would have been nice to at least get the basic maps that the original Call of Duty 4 shipped with. So pretty much what I plan on doing is just continuing to play Call of Duty 4, the old version, because I've played a lot more Call of Duty 4 over the last few weeks, getting gameplay and stuff for these videos, and I've noticed that for the most part there's almost no hackers in Call of Duty 4 anymore, which is really good to see. Before, as soon as you entered a game, it would be like plastered on your screen like, I like butts, check out my YouTube channel, and if you like butts, and it would just be like plastered, like flashing in your screen and stuff, and it's like, it was unplayable pretty much. But recently there's been like no hackers, and there's still enough people surprisingly playing Call of Duty 4 online that I know I could. I don't know how good my connection is, or if I'm just in a good region or whatever, but I can almost instantly get into a game. There's like little to no wait. Obviously, if you're trying to like get into a different lobby, it's a little bit harder. I notice that a lot of the times I'm getting into the same lobby over and over again, but I do get into games very quickly, so I'm just going to be playing Call of Duty 4, because you know at some point they're going to have to release Call of Duty 4 remastered by itself. They're going to see a loss in sales, they're going to see people getting more and more outraged, and they're just going to have to release it. And it's going to be like $30 or $40 or whatever they decide to charge us, but it's still going to be worth not getting an Infinite Warfare, I think. So I'm just going to hold off. I mean, I suggest if that's what you're doing, don't give them the money, because they're going to find some way where you have to have Infinite Warfare to play Call of Duty 4. I know that it doesn't come in a separate disc. I'm pretty sure it's just like a download. So they'll probably make sure that you have to have like Infinite Warfare in your system to actually play the downloaded version. You know that they're going to do something else slimy like that, so you can't just return Infinite Warfare as soon as you get COD 4 remastered. So I would just wait. That's what I'm going to do, because you know at some point they're going to have to release it by itself. And this is just me pleading at this point, but please, 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 please don't change anything. I really want it just left the way it was, just looking better. I want it remastered in the sense that it's like HD and everything looks really nice, but I don't want anything else changed. Please, please, please don't change anything. Because Call of Duty 4, it's very distinct in its way. It worked. There were things that were kind of bad, like 3 frags and all that stuff, but it's what made Call of Duty 4 Call of Duty 4. And if you start changing stuff like that, it's gonna not be good. Like, leave Eavesdrop in. Eavesdrop is the worst perk of all time in Call of Duty. But please leave it in, don't change anything about it, because I don't want anything changed in this game. And for the love of all things good in this world, don't add supply drops to Call of Duty 4 Remastered. I will be so upset if some form of supply drops is in there. I don't care if it's just like look stuff, I don't care if it's just camos. Do not add supply drops, for the love of God. Please. Please just leave Call of Duty 4 the same. Just make it look nice. That's all I have to say. And now that I'm done begging, I just kind of want to wrap this up by briefly talking about my hopes for the Call of Duty future. Now, in a way, I know this is kind of bad to say, and based on my history, I do kind of like Call of Duty. I enjoy Call of Duty, and I don't want it to see it necessarily fail. But in a way, I do hope that Infinite Warfare, and whatever the hell Sledgehammer decides to make next, do in a way kind of flop, because I don't like either company. I don't like the way either of them have taken the franchise, and I have no trust. Well, first of all, Infinite Warfare, you can already see, is probably not going to be that great, and I have no trust that Sledgehammer is going to make a good game. They're probably going to make like Advanced Warfare 2, which is going to be absolute garbage. We're going to be flip-flopping in the air and doing super boost and riding freaking unicorns to the moon or whatever they decide to do in that game. So I have no trust in them. So I'm kind of hoping that they don't do that well. That way, Treyarch, and if they don't do this, I mean, honestly, who's running their PR system? If they don't make a World War II game, if Treyarch does not, it doesn't even have to be World War II. It can be Vietnam or anything other than the future. It can be the present. Ooh, what a crazy idea. The present. That would be amazing. At most, the next game that Treyarch makes has to be the present, and if they don't go back farther, I'll be pretty surprised and kind of upset. But I just kind of want the next 2 games to not do that well. I want Treyarch to come in, make a good World War II game, and then set everything back the way it should be. Because, I don't know, if Sledgehammer does decide to go back to World War II, I have no faith that they'll actually do it well. Like, I'm just worried that the guns are going to be unbalanced, or they'll put some weird spin on World War II, or something like that. And I don't want that to happen. And I know Treyarch, at least, will be able to go back to, like, the gritty past. And that's really what I want. I want a game made by a futuristic company, like in the year 2016 or forward, because we're obviously not getting it in 2016, but I want a modern company to make a good World War II Call of Duty. That's all I ask. And by good Call of Duty, I don't want it to be like the same as World at War. That's not what I'm saying. I want to see like the true potential that Call of Duty can offer, just like in a World War II setting. And I don't think it's like the craziest thing in the world to ask for. I think it's very doable, and I just hope that Treyarch in 2 years or whatever does actually do it. And it just kind of, this whole thing just kept reminding me of the Game of Thrones quote. Or not, I don't even know if it's a quote, but it's like the thing where Daenerys keeps getting told the only way to go forward is to go back. It's the only thing that keeps coming into my head. It's like, Call of Duty, The only way forward is to go back. And that was extremely cheesy. But that's where I'm going to end this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that this has gone pretty long. I actually don't know how long this has gone because I don't have my counter in front of me, but it feels like I've been talking for a while. Next week, we will be doing a Q&A. I forgot to mention this earlier in the video, but if you have any last-minute questions, next week will indeed be the Q&A. I've gotten a ton of awesome questions so far, and if you, like I said, if you have any last-minute ones, feel free to leave them in the comments. For the most part, if you've left a question so far, there's a good chance that I have already seen it, and that it will be in the video, because I haven't got a lot of duplicate questions, which is very good. So, if you want to leave any more questions or whatever, or if you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comments. And of course, I will see you next week, and I will see you in videos coming in tomorrow or whatever. Okay, I've been talking for too long. I'm going to end this one now. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.